Have you been thinking about moving to Plano, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to learn everything there is to know about Plano, Texas from a bird's eye view. So if you've been thinking at all about moving to Plano, you will not want to miss this video, so stay tuned. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome, glad to meet you. My name is Wendy Pinnell. I am a local real estate broker here in the Dallas area. If you want to know everything there is to know about living in Dallas, Texas, or any one of its many suburbs, including Plano, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell. We've been in the business since 2007, helping buyers and sellers just like you every day. We absolutely love it. We're also a family brokerage, so if you like the idea of our family helping yours, be sure to head on down to that description section and find our Let's Find Home questionnaire. You're also welcome to call us, you can text us, you can send us an email. Really, any one of those ways work. We're just glad to have the opportunity to help you find home in Dallas, Texas. But anyway, like I said, today we're going to take a look at all things Plano from a bird's eye view. So let's get to it. Okay, so like I said, today we are going to take a look at Plano, Texas from a bird's eye view. So you have Fort Worth here, you have Dallas here, and then here you have Plano. So as you can see, Plano is not what we would call centrally located between Fort Worth and Dallas. You know, we often rave about Irving and Arlington and Grand Prairie for being centrally located. And, you know, obviously we would not say that about Plano. However, there is plenty enough in Plano and in this area that it really does not have to be, you know, like it's not super important for survival's sake to be near Fort Worth, right? Because you've got plenty going on here in Plano. But all right, so there are your cities. Let me show you something here. Let's take a look. How big is Plano? Okay, gives you an idea of Plano. Plano is one of the larger suburbs. And anyway, here it is right here. But let's talk about, you know, while we're on this subject, let's talk about some commute times. Let's kind of take a look at, you know, when we say it's not ideally located, let's see what it's close to and what it's not, okay? So, all right, number one, let's see here now. Let me get a little closer here. There we are. So number one is downtown Dallas. All right, you're right here, downtown Dallas, and here's Plano. How long of a drive is that going to be? Well, it's going to take you about 24 minutes. All right, and you're going to go right along here on 75. Kind of depends, of course, on what part of Plano you're in, because if you were here instead, you would take 35, but if you're here, you would take 75, and that's going to be about a 24-minute drive. Okay, what is next? Yes, the commute you probably would not make. Likelihood is, right? If you were going to work down in Fort Worth, you probably would not aim to be in Plano because there's so many other job opportunities in this area. But at any rate, if you did, commute time from Fort Worth to Plano would be around 47 minutes. Okay, and basically you're going to take 121 all the way, the Sam Rayburn Tollway, all the way. And, you know, I think even when you have a long commute, it is kind of nice when you can just take one road, right? And not have a bunch of different highways that you have to switch to. So at least, you know, you can say that about that commute, even though it certainly is lengthy. Okay, AT&T Stadium. So, you know, if you're in the mood, you got to have some Dallas Cowboys, you know, football or Texas Rangers baseball, right? What kind of commute are you talking about there? About 42 minutes. So that is, you got to really prepare for that, right? So there that is right there, right in here. And there's a lot, I know we've talked about this before, there is just a lot of entertainment in this area. So baseball, football, Six Flags Over Texas, this is really an entertainment hub. So yeah, so you would take I-30 and then go up 161. I mean, there are other ways you could do it, but this tollway is going to get you there pretty fast. Okay, so that tells you about that. How about the airport if you travel with work? Let's see what that is going to look like. Well, there you go. You're going to take basically the same route along in here, and then you're going to switch over to 114. So you've got your tollway here, then over to 114. Not a bad drive, a 30-minute commute. All right, how about if you work at the Las Colinas Business Center? Okay, if you work at the Las Colinas Business Center, it's going to look something like this. You're still going to do George W. Bush. And honestly, I will say that that is a very cool thing about Plano is you're surrounded by some pretty good tollways here. You've got Sam Rayburn Tollway, you've got the George W. Bush Tollway, and you've got I-75, and then you've got the tollway here as well. So that is really a nice feature traffic-wise. In fact, a lot of times, you know, we've talked about how in Arlington, I'll talk about how, you know, there's just no good north-south corridor and how that really contributes to traffic, right? But in Plano, you're set up pretty well. And from that standpoint, you've got the highway here, you've got I-75 here. Okay, you've also got the Dallas North Tollway here, you have Sam Rayburn Tollway here, and you have George W. Bush Tollway here. So really neat in terms of access in that way. All right, well, tell you what, let's look at some basic information real quickly about Plano. So let's kind of take a look at that. Let's kind of scroll in here a little bit. Okay, population of Plano, 285,000. Okay, so this is definitely one of your larger suburbs, you know, and one thing it's very interesting about, let me kind of scroll out here for just a minute. I want to take you on a little trip here on a tangent. You know, you've got your big hubs here. You have Dallas, you know, with a population of 1.3 million. It's the big kahuna, right? And then you have Fort Worth with a population of 950,000. And then you have Arlington, kind of in a camp all its own with a population of 400,000. Okay, but then you have about a handful of these larger suburbs that, you know, are in like the 200,000-ish population range. So let me kind of show you that. Let me see here now. So Plano is obviously one of them, and if you look right here, you can see Plano has a population of 285,000 and a land area of 71 square miles. So this is one of, I guess, what we would call like the big five, the ones that have that big population, those larger suburbs. So Plano is definitely one of them, but there's others. So let's take a look at that, and we'll get back to our statistics here in just a minute, but I kind of want to take this little detour and show you that, you know, we've also got Frisco. Okay, right here you can see Frisco, similar in land size. We have Frisco population 236,000, 68.1 square miles. Okay, so population here 285,000 and slightly bigger at 71 square miles. Okay, so what else do we have? What's the next one? Well, we also have Garland. Let me show you Garland. Okay, Garland is another one of those larger suburbs. Has a population of 234,057 square miles. Okay, so that's another one of yours. And then we also have Grand Prairie. See if we can show you Grand Prairie. All right, there's Grand Prairie. You have a population there just under 200,000, and you're at 72 square miles. Okay, and then we also have Irving. Okay, and there you have a population of 234,067 square miles. Now, there is a reason I am doing all these comparisons, okay? There are your big five. Okay, so you have here Dallas, 1.3 million, Fort Worth, you know, 950,000, Arlington, 400,000, and then you go into this next range of these larger suburbs, of which Plano is one of them. But here's the thing I wanted to show you. We look at all of these land masses, right? And we're talking, let me kind of just scroll in here for just a minute. So we talk about these big five areas, and I do have a point to make, so bear with me here. We have 68.1 square miles of land area here with a population of 236,000. That's Frisco. Then you have over here Plano, you have the population of 285,000 with a land area of 71 square miles. Then you come over here to Garland, 234,000 population with 57 square miles, feeling a little bit crowded there. And then we have Irving, population 234,000 and 67 square miles. And then Grand Prairie, population just a shade under 200,000 and 72 square miles. So kind of what I wanted to show you guys is I really wanted to show you the population density factor in this upper area here, these suburbs that have just gotten so full. And I think that's why a lot of people really are going further and further north, and you're seeing just a lot more of new construction as people go up this way. And what's also happening is it's becoming a little less relevant to a degree downtown Dallas because Plano and Frisco have so much business in them. However, to the extent that Dallas and Arlington and Fort Worth still have a ton of jobs, which they do, I wanted to show you something that I think you'll find really interesting. Okay, let me scroll right here. I want to show you this. Okay, this is right here. This is Midlothian. And a lot of people are like, oh, Wendy, you talk so much about Midlothian. And I do, because it has so much potential. Midlothian right here is 63 square miles. And if you look, you know, Grand Prairie is 72. Then you have Irving with 67. And Garland, 57 square miles. Look at all these land areas that are so close to Midlothian, right? And then look at their populations. 236,000, 285,000, 235,000, right? And then you get down here to Midlothian, you have this huge, huge amount of land, and look at that population, 40,000. Okay, so this area right here, I just have to tell you, it is just booming. Has tons of new construction, over 150 new construction communities in Midlothian, and so much room to spread out. So I always like to let my viewers know, hey, there's stuff going on in the north that's pretty cool and you don't want to miss out. Okay, so that is what I wanted to tell you in terms of that square mileage and those big five that really have just become so populated and so crowded. And if you don't like the idea of crowded, well, you definitely want to give Midlothian a try, and also Waxahachie. The way these cities here, Mansfield, Midlothian, Waxahachie, they have excellent schools, excellent home values, low crime. So there's really a lot to research there. I really feel often like they're just these hidden jewels. Anyway, off on that tangent, let us go take a look back and revisit some statistics. Okay, yes, here we are. We have found our way back to Plano and our statistics that we were looking at. Population, 285,000 in Plano over a land area of 71 square miles. Okay, what county is it in? Well, it is in Collin County. And let me just tell you something about Collin County. It is exploding in growth. It was the fourth fastest growing in Texas in terms of counties in 2021. So let me kind of show you a bit of an overlay here so you can take a look and see. This is Collin County, and everything in this area is growing really, really fast. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Plano and Frisco here have a lot of business and a lot of jobs to offer. And so whereas people used to worry about reaching Dallas for a commute, you know, Frisco and Plano have a lot of jobs so that people are able to move more in this way. That being said, these areas are going to get crowded. They are getting crowded more and more every day because of the huge population influx. So down here on this southern side, this side, I would say, so this area right here, I would say is exploding in growth. And then also down here, this is probably your lesser known area. It's growing pretty quickly as well. This whole corridor right in here has a ton of new construction and growth, but not quite to rival what's going on in Collin County. So if you still want acreage and room to spare, you're more likely to find it down here because it's growing, but not quite as fast. So they have Mansfield, Midlothian, Waxahachie. These areas are growing as well. Collin County really taking off, right? And have a population boom working its way up into being pretty crowded, but still has room to grow. But yeah, it's growing fast. Okay, so that tells you that. Let me take a look again. Let's see, where were we? So we talked about, let me scroll in here. Okay, so we talked about the population, Collin County, the land area, and we did that comparison so you could really see, you know, the difference in the areas and how big those populations are and population density. All right, the growth rate in Plano, and this should not surprise us, a negative 0.37%. That makes sense, right, when we see the fact of how crowded it is and how crowded these suburbs and exurbs are not, right? So people are leaving and moving up further where it is not quite as crowded. So yeah, so the population dropped a little bit. Growth since 2010, 9.89%. So it is just really not growing very fast. In fact, fun fact for you, in Midlothian, right? We talked about Midlothian. Did you know that one is growing? Way down here, Midlothian. Okay, this little jewel that has all that 60-something square miles, right? It's growing at 6% a year, okay, versus Plano growing 9% over 10 years, right? So definitely got growth there in Midlothian, but not so much in Plano, but that's okay. Okay, so here we have Plano growth rate of 9.89%. Population then was just a hair under 260,000. Okay, average household income, 126,000. Does this sound familiar? It should, because that's a similar amount to what we saw in our Mansfield vlog tour, that one also has a similar average household income. Okay, home ownership rate, 59%. You know, a lot of times home ownership rates are linked to college towns. Plano does have some colleges within it, University of Dallas. It also has community college. However, I don't think it has as much to contribute to that. I think this also indicates that there is a rental, there are going to be investment property and high density housing and rentals here when you have a home ownership rate of that amount with not quite as much in the way of college. But you can see right there, there is your, there you go, University of Texas at Dallas. Let's see here now. There it is right there. Okay. Okay, so that kind of gives you a good idea statistic-wise, but what if you want to go to Plano to have a good time? I wanted to show you this because I think this is very cool. So let me back out a little bit. One thing I love about Plano, look at all these lakes. This is very awesome, okay? Look at that, all the fun that you can have. Right here you have Grapevine Lake. You have Lake Louisville. You have Lake Lavon, and you have Lake Ray Hubbard. So I really love that in terms of, hey, we may not be able to say that Plano is centrally located, you know, between Dallas and Fort Worth, but it sure is centrally located between these lakes. Am I right? So that is a very cool feature. Okay, so let's just turn the corner for a minute. Let's look at some shopping. Okay, so what does Plano have in the way of shopping? Well, let's take a look. It has quite a bit. We have shopping here, 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 and here, just to name a few. And these are some really nice ones, but there is a lot of shopping. I mean, it's a large suburb, so that would make sense, right? Scroll in just a little bit here, zoom in, there we go. We have right here Legacy West. We also have these shops at Legacy, and both of these are very nice areas with both dining and shopping. Excellent. The shops at Willow Bend, also a very nice option, and you also have the Park Place Shopping Center. Now right in here, the Willow Bend in general, you're going to find this to be your more affluent area. All right, where was our shopping over here though? I know we had one over here. Where did it go? There it is. We also have the Downtown Plano Arts District. Ah, yes, this is really neat. The downtown area is very walkable, has a lot of shops, and it's just really quaint little eateries, boutiques, art galleries. So it's really neat. And you've got Haggard Park right there. So that is definitely a shopping option as well. You know, not like your standard mall, but more of just an enjoyable, eclectic experience. So here you have downtown Plano Station. You can see right here, Vickery Park. Lots of neat little restaurants. You've also got some apartments, some high density housing there. Courtyard Theater, so you can see all of this cool stuff. So I'd say that if you're going into Plano, you don't want to miss downtown Plano. You got to spend some time there exploring. But yeah, some excellent shopping as well. Okay, so we've talked about shopping. Let's take a look. Let's kind of turn the corner for a minute. Let's talk a little bit about housing, okay? Because we've definitely got some things that we need to talk about with housing. Lots going on in housing. So let's do that. Okay, so here we have some basic housing information. Median sales price in Plano in the past 90 days, $460,000. Median price per square foot past 90 days, $195 a square foot. All right, the luxury and affluent areas. Yes, like I said, it's that Willow Bend area and Northwest Plano. So definitely up where that shopping was. You can see right in here, right along the tollway, is where you're going to see that more affluent section. This is generally the eastern area of Plano, is generally considered to be more affordable. So if you're looking more like in the affordable 300, 400,000 range, you're going to find it more here. And then over in here in the Willow Bend areas, you've got more of an affluent if you're looking more in that $1 million range. Okay, so that kind of covers our housing. But you know what? I hear you saying, hey, Wendy, what about new construction? Is there any new construction? Well, yes, there actually is. So let's take a look at that. So new construction, what does Plano have to offer in new construction? Well, right here we have Wynwood Villas townhomes. Okay, right in this area. So townhomes, not single family, and it's located, let's kind of zoom in here and see what you can see, right by the Methodist Richardson Medical Center, right in here. So that is the Wynwood Villa townhomes. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. All right, so you can see there's just not a whole lot to see, just have the concept. And the interesting thing to see is that almost all of these are already under contract, so they are mainly selling before they are built. Okay, so that shows you the Windward Villa townhomes. Let's take a look at the Heritage Creekside homes. There's that one. Let's scroll out and see if we can find that one. Let's zoom out here. All right, here we are over here. This is the Heritage Creekside homes right here. Let's take a look and see what this one looks like. Ah, there we have it. And yet again, another townhome. Now this should not surprise you because the ones that are new construction are going to be more high density housing, right? Because Plano's already so full. It already has so many houses. It just doesn't have a whole lot of empty space. But at any rate, there you see it already sold, 500,000. All right. Okay, so that was the Heritage Creekside homes. There are more available there, but that was just one for you to look at. All right, how about the Villas of Middleton? Villas of Middleton. Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's kind of zoom in here and see where we are. The Villas of Middleton. That's another new construction spot. All right, there we are. You can see right in here, and let's take a look. Will we be surprised? Are we talking single family or townhomes? Ah, more townhomes. Okay, so let's take a look and see what kind of pictures we have there. Okay, this one is for sale, active at 469. Okay, 469,000. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful? You just love that stone front and carriage style garage door. Really pretty. Look at the granite. Oh, that's just lovely. And the shaker cabinets. Very nice. Subway tile, standing glass shower. So yeah, very nice there. So that, if you're keeping track, was the Villas of Middleton. Okay, that's the Villas of Middleton right there. All right, next one. Let's see here now. Let's zoom out so we can find our next one. So far we have seen 3, and we are 3 for 3, right? Because we have seen the Heritage Creekside, which was townhomes, and then we saw Wynwood Villas, which was also townhomes, and now we are seeing, then we saw Villas, which is also townhomes. So far 3 townhomes, which again is not surprising and just very beautiful though. Okay, next one, Prairie Commons. Let's take a look at Prairie Commons. Let's see, Prairie Commons, where are you? Ah, there we are, up closer, up north, closer to Sam Rayburn Tollway. So let's take a look at Prairie Commons. Okay, here we have a single family residence. All right, now we're talking. Okay, so single family home here, 630,000, all new construction. Look at that beautiful shaker cabinets, granite countertops, luxury vinyl plank. Very nice. All right, standing glass shower. Okay, so this one right here is for sale for 630,000. Okay, and that is our Prairie Commons. Okay, that's where we're at right there, Prairie Commons. So if you're thinking new construction sounds good to you and you'd like a single family home, well, you'll find it there. So you've got townhome options here, and you have a single family home option here, and we are not done yet. Let's take a look at Villas at Legacy West. Okay, so this is another new construction options. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, we've got some townhomes, really neat modern looking flair on these. Look at that, isn't that neat? Okay, let's take a look at some more pictures here. Oh, just beautiful. Price is $630,900. First one I selected, already under contract. Look at that. Really love those paths, those walking trails, so nice. Lots of beautiful greenery. Ah, I love this green space right in the middle, isn't that great? Okay. And you're right near your shopping. Oh my goodness, the Legacy. Could it get any better, right? Okay, so that gives you just another option in townhomes. That's the Villas at Legacy West. Let's take a look at the last one of our new construction. Right here we have Cypress Villas. So let's kind of see what we've got going on over here at Cypress Villas. Very nice. As you can see, this one is also under contract, so that just doesn't surprise us, right? Because things are going under contract so quickly. So 811,000 under contract there. Look at that beautiful architectural detail. I love that. Love the carriage style garage doors. Wrought iron on the front door. Very nice. See how it looks inside, if it's just as nice. Ah, yes. Look at these beautiful stainless steel appliances. Love the backsplash on that one. Very nice. Okay. Got some carpet. Ah, look at that beautiful trade ceiling. Ah, check out that soaking tub. Oh my goodness. And this huge enclosed glass standing shower. Love that. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, so that is what we see for new construction in Plano. Mostly townhomes, one section of single family homes. Okay, so we have looked at a lot of things. What we haven't looked at yet is we haven't talked about schools. So let's take a look and see what niche.com has to say. Comes as no surprise, niche.com gives the public schools an A+. You know, when it comes to Plano and their school system, their reputation really does precede itself. Excellent schools. They give housing an A-, good for families an A+, crime and safety a C+, and diversity an A+. Okay, so that is what niche.com had to say about Plano. I did want to point out before we stopped these beautiful green spaces that you'll find, the Oak Point Park and Nature Preserve, and also the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve. So yeah, so really neat area, Plano. Excellent schools, just terrific for family living, high density. You know, population-wise, it is one of the larger suburbs, but you can see you also have you've got those 4 lakes, again, that you can go to, as well as some fantastic green space. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. I hope you found a good bit of information there on Plano. And listen, if it was helpful, next best thing you can do is hop on over and visit my channel and check out some more videos. We've got lots of vlog tours as well as map tours there. Yeah, and you know what? If you've got to move in your future, you know, regardless of where you're going in the Metroplex, we would be happy to help you. Like I said before, we have been doing this since 2007, so that is a lot of buying and selling, my friend. So if you have a move in your future, remember, check the description section for our Let's Find Home questionnaire. You know, or you're also, of course, welcome to call us or text us or send us an email. Really, any of those ways work. But in the meantime, listen, thank you so much for joining me today on this map tour. Really hope it was helpful. And hey, until next time, have a great day.